Hi everybody, I'm Riley Bischoff with New Horizon Compost, which is a division of New Horizon Property Management, a family-owned lawn care and landscaping business in Marshall, Michigan. We began thinking about starting a compost facility when we had nowhere to properly dispose of our organic waste from our lawn maintenance and landscaping projects. Local cannabis growing facilities started running into the same issue. Just one farm can produce 80 cubic yards, or about 10 full dump trucks, to put that in perspective, of organic waste per week, all of which heads straight to the landfill. Here's a map from our county's website showing the compost centers in our area. Unfortunately, the 3 closest to us are restricted, not open for commercial use, and none are approved to accept cannabis waste, leaving a big gap in the market. And trucking all of this to the nearest facility is not a great option either, as it raises costs for businesses and increases fuel emissions, which contribute to climate change. And taking this waste to the landfill is very harmful to the environment when it could be used to benefit it. Our solution to this problem is to create our own compost facility. About 2.5 years ago, we started the long and super fun process of getting our permits and zoning. We built a half-acre asphalt pad on our land, which has a capacity to compost over 4,000 cubic yards per year using the windrow method, and we've almost completed work on our retention pond to collect runoff. Not only does composting save space in our landfills and reduce greenhouse gas emissions, but this process sequesters carbon and regenerates soil, increases food productions, and decreases erosion. We are the first compost site in Michigan legally approved to accept cannabis waste, and with no other facilities in our area open for commercial use, we currently have no direct competition. Our business model is quite simple. We'll continue to collect the yard waste from our lawn and landscape projects and charge a cannabis waste tip and transportation fee. Once we have our finished product, the compost will be used in our lawn and landscape projects, sold locally and blended to make a high-value topsoil. Revenue coming in from both ends will allow us to quickly recover our everyday operating expenses like labor and transportation. There are over 2,500 grower and processor licenses in Michigan as of April. And last year, Michigan became the second largest cannabis market behind only California. Composting cannabis waste is a huge untapped market that continues to increase and needs to be invested in for our planet. We're currently taking in waste from Cresco Labs and are in negotiations with Common Citizen. If we take all of their materials, our own yard waste, and that of a few other local businesses, we'll already be reaching our site capacity. While we've had a ton of help along the way, here's the core New Horizon Compost team. Chad Bischoff is our founder and president. I, Riley Bischoff, am a recent graduate from MSU and our strategic assistant. Rob Hall is a U.S. Marine vet and our sales manager, and Lane Bischoff runs our compost yard. As you can see, this really is a family business here. And last but not least, Nicole Chardot, who has been a huge help in getting this project started. Here we have our revenue projections for the next 5 years. In 2025 and 2026, we'll be using our site at full capacity while we perfect our processes and recipes. In 2027, discussions have already begun to take over our city's compost center. In 2028, we'll double our site capacity and switch to ASP and increase our feedstock at both sites in 2029. And of course, as we increase the amount we can compost, we increase the amount we can sell. We also have plans to accept food waste from our community's residents and businesses in the future. Everything has been funded by our company so far, and while we already own the land and some larger pieces of equipment, such as loaders, we spent about $200,000 in startup costs, and there are still a few pieces of equipment we need to become fully functional and achieve these revenues. The first is a screener, which we need to process our topsoil and compost into its final usable form. We're looking for grant and other funding opportunities or lease agreement with partners. We also need a dump truck with a roll-off bed and 4 containers to transport the cannabis waste to our facility. We're looking for grant and funding opportunities for this equipment as well. And finally, we're seeking help and advocating for cannabis composting law updates. It's only Michigan's 5th year of recreational marijuana sales, so this is new territory for our state we're all figuring out together. Currently, the marijuana waste must be rendered unusable and unrecognizable before it can leave the producer's site. In the end, throwing their waste into plastic bags and sending it right off to the landfill is cheaper and easier than sourcing mixing materials and purchasing the necessary equipment. Allowing approved composters to transport the waste to their site for mixing and grinding, where they already have other organics and the equipment necessary, would benefit all parties and our environment. We are super passionate and excited about this project and grateful for the opportunity to share with you all. Thanks for listening.